Alright, so today I'm going to break down Jesse James West's home gym step by step. I'm going to figure out what does work, what doesn't work, and how he could actually improve his gym without spending more money. We will find out if this is actually a high-performance home gym or just a commercial gym put in a basement. But before we go into the specific review of Jesse's gym, let's find out what this gym is trying to optimize for. So he wants to go for a typical bodybuilding commercial style layout, and he also wants to train with his girlfriend in his basement. So it has to be cozy, functional, and fit into Jesse's lifestyle. Now let's see how the layout supports that identity.
Now the real work began. First thing we had to do was repaint our entire basement. Alrighty, everybody is hard at work right now, doing some painting in the gym right now, or the future gym I should say.
Jesse's ready for his new gym. It's coming real
Let's go.
soon.
Let's go. The final reveal of the basement being painted. It is ready. Holy crap. It's so bright. Great job, guys. What do you think?
No, it looks really good. He wanted to paint it black before, and I was like, no way.
Look at the difference of the wall.
I know.
Like, I'm so glad we changed the color of the wall.
Okay, nice. So we can see that in step 1, he's painting the walls. He wants to make the space brighter. He's replacing the brownish tone of the walls for a white, creamy tone. By going for a white tone for the walls and the ceiling, he's actually not only brightening up the space, but he's extending it in all sides and connecting it in a three-dimensional way, so it gets more comprehensive and looks more like a museum than a basement.
Next task, rip up the basement flooring because we got some nice luxury rubber flooring coming in next week. You guys are just manhandling this rug. I love it. Keep going. You're doing great.
Let's talk about his flooring decision. He's changing his gray, boring carpet, which actually wouldn't work at all for a home gym space, and replacing it with a luxury rubber flooring. I like this decision, and it has a lot of advantages. By choosing or leaving a carpet for your home gym space, you would actually make the worst decision. It's not only the worst flooring because your machines will be shaky and not mounted to the flooring, but obviously you will be sweating in your home gym and you don't want to drip your sweat on a carpet flooring because after 1 year, this home gym will smell like shit and you can't use it anymore. So the two ways that I would recommend as an architect is going either for a concrete flooring, removing the flooring that you actually have so you can mount it actually to the concrete floor, or going for a rubber flooring like Jamie with a neutral tone that brightens up the space, and choosing a thickness up to 5 millimeters so you can use it for heavy racks, dumbbells and machines.
So the first thing they're going to do is put a very, very thick glue on the ground, and then they're going to roll this on and press it down. And the glue actually acts like a little thin layer of rubber almost, so it adds more protection to the floor. After the floor was up, the basement looked so empty. Everything looks gorgeous. The floor color is so bright that it just feels so much bigger in here than it really is.
Okay, nice. So he's actually making the best decision he could go for in his basement, because by gluing his rubber flooring to the concrete, he has no problems at all with shakiness when it comes to putting machines on the rubber flooring. And by putting a thick layer of glue on the concrete, you can actually remove minor mistakes on the concrete, so you can have a really nice surface, and it will feel like that your machines are actually glued to the rubber flooring because they will fit perfectly. Alright, so he's going for a bright neutral gray tone for the rubber flooring. This actually brightens up the floor even more because this new rubber flooring is actually a little bit reflective. He's pulling in the light and making the space even brighter. I like this decision. One way of elevating his flooring decision would be choosing a second color. So he could highlight this zone and put, for example, his squat rack into the darker zone. This would lead to a more dynamic space with more shape and more depth.
Today is the install of the gym equipment, okay? We are getting an entire commercial gym basically in my basement. Everything you're seeing here, everything from literally from that corner all the way to that giant wall will be filled with beautiful, elegant, luxurious gym equipment. Let the gym build begin.
Now let's talk about the spacing and positioning of his new gym equipment. By choosing one brand for your equipment, you will have a consistent design throughout your home gym. So if you manage to find one brand that you really like, I can highly recommend going for this kind of setup.
I made sure to keep everybody on time and on schedule.
You're doing great, guys.
Yep, that's good.
Right there. All right.
All right, maybe I don't know what I'm doing here, but let's move on. The Smith machine. This is nice. Wow. Do you like it? Are you excited? You gonna build a big booty on that? You already got a big booty. You can build a bigger booty?
Sure.
But let's talk about the positioning. Is there actually a spatial hierarchy, or is he just randomly putting the machines in his basement? What we can't see is that he's aligning his machines to the walls, putting them in 90-degree angles. And what's actually really important is that he keeps his windows and doors accessible. This is a mistake I see all the time. People putting their machines just in front of the window, so you can't access them, you can't open up the window. This will lead to big problems. Don't make this mistake and keep your windows and doors always accessible.
Starting off right here, we have a multi-purpose functional trainer. You could do chest flies, tricep push downs, glute kickbacks if you're feeling thick. Moving right next to it, we have another essential, the handy dandy deadlift platform along with a beautiful squat rack.
One thing that I would immediately change is the squat rack positioning. What we can see here is that the squat rack is horizontally aligned to the wall. When it comes to the squat rack, most of the times this will be your most expensive unit and the biggest unit you will have. The squat rack is actually the most functional unit that he bought, so he can actually use it for the warm-up, just hanging down the pull-up bar, making pull-ups, or going for the heavy weights when it comes to squats, deadlifts, and bench presses. When it comes to multifunctional units, you want to keep them in the central part of your gym, because if you're doing supersets or combining multiple exercises, you want to have the functional unit in the center so you can easily change between exercises, and you can use the squat rack as a portal or kind of door that you put inside the space in the center. You can just walk through, go around, and it always will work when it comes to mid-workout. And it will also provide a more elevated look for your home gym.
Now, if you're telling me that this is not the greatest combo right next to each other, I don't know what is. Ever since peanut butter and jelly, what should be next to each other?
Alright, so we can see he actually thought about the positioning. He wanted to have his multifunctional cable machine and the squat rack right next to each other. I respect this decision, but from an interior design perspective, it's still not the best choice. And by putting it into the center, which would lead to having a little bit more space, and by putting the squat rack into the center, he would have a more active rest. And also when it comes to putting the plates on your squat rack, it's much more comfortable to have a lot of space behind the squat rack and not a wall that is directly aligned to the plates.
We have the safeties, we got a pull-up bar, and we have a plethora of all different plates. We'll take a break from the weightlifting side of things. We have every piece of cardio equipment you possibly need. We have the Stairmaster, we have a beautiful high-tech treadmill, okay? And then over here, we have an assault bike. So I've been using this quite a lot. Feels good. You get kind of a fan at the exact same time. So you kind of look like Fabio riding a horse, and you're getting a workout in.
So next up, we can see that he also thought about positioning his cardio equipment on one side of the gym. I appreciate the decision of having the cardio equipment horizontally aligned and next to each other. Most of the time you will use it in a range of 20 to 40 minutes, and you don't want to look straight onto a wall that is right in front of you for 40 minutes. So one way of improving this positioning would be putting your cardio equipment next to a light source or window, Another way of improving the setup would be just turning the cardio equipment 180 degrees so he could look into the room or on a screen. This would be much more comfortable. This will not only increase your performance when doing cardio exercises, but you can also get much more fresh air if you position it next to a window, and you will also feel much better by looking into the room rather than looking right into a wall.
Moving over, we have the whole entire dumbbell rack. It's 3 layers along with one on the side. I had to kind of get the shorter version because sometimes shorter is okay.
Alright, let's talk about his dumbbell rack positioning. What he did is that he put 2 dumbbell racks right next to each other. This is actually not the best solution for this kind of setup that he has in this corner. By aligning them horizontally, he's messing up the proportions of the room and the wall. One way of upgrading this kind of rack setup would be positioning the shorter vertical dumbbell rack on the right side aligned to the wall, so he could have an L shape. This is especially useful because when it comes to dumbbells, you have to move them, you have to put them inside the rack, you have to put them on the bench. You want to have a lot of space around your dumbbell. And also you would have a nice dumbbell workout space that is zoned by the dumbbell racks, and the proportions will look much
Shoulder
better.
press, overhead press, all different things we can do right here. Curl. It's just one of the greatest things to have is a nice chair, okay? The chair bench press, whatever that's freaking called, that's what we're going with. This is a very nice bench press. It's actually lower to the ground. I requested that because I'm a short king and I'm 5'9.5", and I'll never forget the day that I found that out. It's lower to the ground so we can get better leg drive, and also my girlfriend has shorter legs than me, so we gotta keep her in mind.
In the end, let's talk about his lighting. We can see that he has 2 sources of light. He has downlights from the ceiling, and he has a lot of natural light coming in from the windows and the glass doors on the right side of his basement. This works out just fine for this kind of setup. When it comes to home gyms which are placed in a basement, you usually don't have a lot of natural light, so then you would have to think about getting multiple light sources. When it comes to lighting in home gym setups, you can't have too much of light sources, but you can have too bright light. So one way of improving Jesse's lighting concept would be adding warm hanging pendant lights, which would be really useful when he has no natural light coming in. For example, when he's training in the afternoon or at night. In this way, he would have more warm dramatic light, which will look good in his YouTube videos and also good when it comes to flexing and how you perceive your own body. Alright, let's be honest, this is a strong gym, but what separates strong from elite isn't equipment, it's intention. By thinking about what you personally are optimizing for in the beginning before buying the equipment will make the biggest difference. By positioning your key functional equipment in the center zone of your home gym, you will separate yourself from the commercial gym layout and have a really nice functional personal home gym layout. Performance always exposes design. Let me know which gym I should break down next. See you next time.